Alrighty. Greetings. I think we're live now, yeah? Should be. Just checking. Looks like it. Alright. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another variety stream. I'm trying to keep doing these on Wednesdays and Saturdays for Monster Hunter. Today I'll be playing some Creeper World 3, Arc Eternal. I actually have been a big fan of the series, though I've only really played the first game and have been watching stuff of the third and fourth game for a long time. So I'm excited to play some maps, have a good old time. I've already played through the story mode, so probably just gonna enjoy some Prospector. Where you get some big and intricate maps. Like the Alpha Sector, too. For those who are unaware of how the game works, I will be explaining in just a moment. I'll change it back to its usual colors, except I'll make anti-creep. Nice Beatrice color. A nice me color. Boop. Now, just making sure. Audio looks like it should be fine. Hopefully. Might turn it up just a little bit. Yeah, I should be fine. Now, to those who are uninitiated to this series, and that's perfectly fine if you aren't, because it's not the most well known. It's a very good series, but it's not good by all. Basically, we are, if I'm remembering correctly, some of the last of humanity fighting against a great goop, which is basically called the Creep. The Creep destroys anything it touches, so we need to destroy it. I'm getting some initial setup done before the battle actually begins. A lot of Creeper World is management of resources. So there's a lot of attempting to make sure that you have enough to keep fighting, and plenty of resources all throughout. Be it anti-creep to battle against, the creep itself with a goo similar to it but not destructive to yourself, or making a lot of cannons to blast at it. I'm gonna put a very skeleton crew army over here, because I don't think I will need too much. Oh, whoops. Did not mean to put 3 relays. Goodness. Relays are able to move resources faster between nodes, so it's very good for quickly getting stuff where it needs to be. And it also has a bigger range. Goodness, hearing this music's just bringing me back. I'm gonna slowly move my army up. Or well, I suppose I'm doing it a little fast for what is normal. I think that's about to get got, so I should probably back off there. But I can try to be a little greedy. And now, in the third game, they introduced nullifiers, which let you explode the creep emitters. See, the creep comes out of these little emitters, and it shows how much and how often. And in this game, you are able to destroy them, and in return, get a very useful node that lets you take a lot of control back by basically supercharging a unit. I could make a forge just for the fun of it. We're doing good on AC, so it doesn't matter too much. We'll make another relay, hop right in. And now I'm gonna try to sneak in this sprayer, which emits anti-creep. Get him in. There we go. And now he shoots a lot faster than he normally would. And I'm gonna switch it out for a mortar, which will be doing a lot of good. Mortars get an absurd range and power. There we go. And that's pushing it back all very, very nicely. And now we advance our line. Now that we have advantage over the creep. And the creep has a lot of tools to try and fight against us. It has these little mesh wires that it can use to move a lot more freely and quickly between spots, which can really hamper your ability to cut it out. Alright, gonna get that in there. Gonna keep pushing our line forward because we have that much advantage. Yeah, you can see there's that mesh, which even after having the creep that was occupying it destroyed, it continues to try to use it, which can be very difficult to deal with. Especially because the towers themselves are not very proficient in dealing with it. They don't really get it. Howdy, Toby. Lovely to see you. I'm just playing some Creep the World. Now we're gonna take pretty much all of our front line and just move it on forward. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll work. And that is a rather quick takedown of this map. How is the bun doing? I feel like this is a game you would enjoy, Toby. And that is victory for us. I don't need to submit a score. What we got this time? Just a whole bunch of emitters. Anything neat? Oh, these are a little bigger. These ones seem not that bad. Alright. We're gonna keep these like this for a bit. And something very interesting that you can get done in this game is to have multiple bases where one of them is struggling for a bit so that the other ones can thrive more freely. So for example, we're going to start out with a rather dire situation on the left here that will hopefully clear up with a little bit of time. And then a top base which will be excelling in comparison. That'll be fine. The plan is basically just to see if I can try to get one base to power me up a lot while the other two push front lines. There we go. This is just honestly me testing ideas to see what works. And that it does seem to be working, so that's good. Creep is quickly approaching on the top. Don't want to stress out the network harder. Alright, time to connect them up. Music is so nice in these games. Got very good jam too. Alright, and then I can push like this, and we'll be just fine. Now we can start getting a relay lineup. Now let me get a sprayer out and probably. Okay. Yeah, if I can just secure this little beach here, that's already a nullifier on one of two. And then that'll help out drastically for the others. There we go, and then we'll fire here. Bubble. That should all work out just fine. Now then, I should be fine to try something silly. You know, I'm gonna get a Bertha building. Because that'll be fun. How do I want to go forward here? Push forward like that. I can do that. I'm gonna be targeting Bertha on this. Actually, on these two. That should massively kill them. We'll go here. I can move you up, and then move you up. And then it's just a slow game of pushing up the front line. At least that's how I usually play. There are some wild ways that people like to clear maps, where they will just go so ham with aggression. I'm not very good at that, though. Now I'm gonna put this guy here. This is an air unit. He's a little flying drone that will rain down hell upon the creep. Now the terrain's starting to become rather visible. They're doing good. Making good progress. Okay, and Bertha just hit right here, dealing a massive blow to the creep. Now we have our drone going up and trying to slowly shoot down the creep. Bang! I might even be able to get a shield up if I wanted, but I think this way's more fun. If I get some morts up, that should be more than enough to take care of them. And I'll get some reactors just kind of building. Yeah, that'll be more than enough. It'll stress out the network for a little bit, but if all goes well, then I should be more than capable of pushing that to its theoretical limits. The vibes in this game are immaculate. If I can get the sprayer up here, it'll be pretty game for this emitter. Yep. There's the nullifier. Now for the shot directly straight through. I'm not sure what to comment at the moment. Don't really have much to say. But it is going up. So that's good. I've been having a great time with Frontier as of late. Even if the Runestra like to give me a lot of spite. Let me just put you right here or something. That works. And now, the last two fall. Now, what's that? The map is cleared. And the mission, out of a lot, there's a lot of sector missions to do. On the other hand, you have Tormented Space, where the maps are insanely difficult. Let me give this one a look. This one has multiple air zone blocks, a lot of creep from all directions. Like, there's no one space that is sacred, I would put it. Perhaps it wants me to go here first? Secure the island? If I do this... Wow, that's a lot of creep in all directions. Actually, I should be getting these ore miners up. If I can get sprayer. Yeah, I'll get a sprayer here. And now the creep's gonna start trying to appear here using the Digitalis. The little mesh is called Digitalis. I should have mentioned. But that's on me. Yeah, there's not many good safe spaces. Perhaps I can eventually branch out to here. Oh, this is gonna be very tense as everything starts to slowly make its way in. My immaturity? My incompetence at this game begins to show. Alright, at the very least, we have anti-creep going on the bottom here. I'm gonna call retreat. Just use it for temporary energy gain. Okay. Yeah, but now those begin crashing apart. Oh, this is worrisome. That's a lot of creep approaching. Oh, oh no, it's breaching. Yeah, you can see how it falls apart if you don't strategize properly. Using the digitalis to get up, and there it all goes. That is what makes these so difficult. On the other hand, there's a lot of community-made missions as well for this game. They're really good. And a lot of them, or at least a fair few of them, are missions where you play as the creep, and they're usually pretty dang fun. Let me find a good example to show off. I think a good example would probably be... I'm going to try the slightly harder version of this map. Alrighty. Oh goodness, it is trying to do a lot at once. Oh my goodness, my frames! Alright. And we are going to do a few little tricks of the trade that you get in playing as creep that allow you to do some mega shenanigans. For example, gaining the ability to launch out the creep as you see fit. There we go. And now we're branching out into the mainland. I'm gonna change real quick the color of the creep to be a little... I think that'll help differentiate it a bit. Wow, they have a lot of opening army, that's for sure. Now we push onto here. We're going to be taking back these. And now you can see it plays out in reverse, where we're taking those spots to place the emitters. That should work out. If I can just get the creep onto there, I'll be perfect. But that's not easy. Especially when there's so much anti-creep. There we go. Now, we are emitting from here. Well, which will allow us to very quickly push out. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, I like this creep color. I haven't used this before. There we go. Get one of the relays out of the way. That opens up a lot of the map for us. I say a lot of the map when it's the very beginning. But there's a lot of small battles that always happen within maps like these that I enjoy. A slow taking over of territory, slow pushing up. It feels good. It feels like a big war. Now, gonna let this kind of build for a second before I try to push in up here. Now, normally, creep can't push into shields unless it is in a comically high density. But with the power of our little pushes that we can do of the creep, we're able to push through shields, which is a very nice feature. It also lets us push anti-creep, which is interesting. I'm trying to just slowly force myself into this corner. Oh, that was a boosted one. That's why that was being so difficult. I was wondering. Okay, get the sprayer up. And now I can push from here. It's always about getting one little anchor point on top of the next. Now I can start pressing into that shield. But they have a... Oh my goodness, they have Berthas pointing at both of these. So I can see my next goal right in front of me. You can try to sneak into here. And although we have a Bertha point blank, we can probably still push past. The other option is to go from here and try and push up and in. Probably allow me to get into like here with some spores. Hey, that actually worked. I didn't think it would. However, the downside of doing this is that removing a shield, shields push back not only the creep, but also the anti-creep. So by removing the thing that was holding it back, it's now flowing freely into the area. Unfortunately, we have an upgraded one. A upgraded cannon right on top of where I'm trying to build. Hold on. Can always see those like little flashes of it's there, but then it's not. Which is where you have to try and trick the AI. And by the AI I mean the cannons into striking the wrong spot. Like that. And that lets you push in real hard. Even though we have an upgraded cannon on top of us, it's still good to try to push into here, because this gets us a lot of land. also now push into here. I don't really know why they have snipers built. You don't get any boost of the little guys. So it wouldn't make sense to me. And the Digitalis is starting to creep up on the right there. It's doing a good job. Since I'm pulling so much aggro. I'm gonna switch my assault to being on this side now. At least for a little bit, because with all this boosted power, I can at least a lot easier push in. Goodness. Get out of here. Your nullifiers. Acting like you own the place. It's clearly creep territory. Maybe I can push with this. Alright. Goodness. They really want that nullifier up, even if it means nothing in the end. Oh, they are just the worst. It's a waste of their resources, but they got plenty of those to spare. This music reminds me a lot of a game I really enjoyed as a kid, and I want to stream it because I have it on Steam. It's called Puzzle Quest. It's a classic to my brothers and I. I'm not sure how they're holding out the way they are. Maybe it's because the ships broke pattern for a short while. But they seem to be struggling, so... It's a victory on the creep. Okay. Yeah, I can try to push in again. Don't get how they are holding that line. My goodness. Control yourself up here. Your feeble line. You humans. I don't know why they fight the way they do. The fortresses are so obnoxious. I'm trying to push in to get to that cannon. Or, if I can, to the advanced collector over there. It's a hassle, but it's not impossible. As the line is starting to push up on the side here. If I can get these down, should weaken them plenty. Oh my goodness, and I can reach that mortar? Okay, I do have a chance. But getting them down is not an easy task. Alright. think I'll be able to just barely push into that. Just barely. It should be enough. Ow. I hit my elbow on my desk. Yep, that helps cut into that a lot. And as long as the AI isn't trying to repair it, then I'm fine. So now I actually have something to use as leverage to push into this side. There we go. Nice and strong. Very good. Just a little further right here. Ready, please. Be real cool. And now it has to take a much slower path. Wait. Oh, one of you stopped being able to be powered now. That helps out greatly. My fucking pancakes! Piranha, why? Why would you do that? Never mind. I baked them and everything. My fucking pancakes. The less mortars I have on my base, the better. Goodness. Okay. With that lightening up, I should be able to push this finally. I think I have the strength still. Nope, it does not seem like I did. A continued push. Maybe if I can latch this corner. Yeah, maybe if I'm able to push into right here, that'll give me some good leverage. Yeah, that looks right. Unfortunately, that means I haven't upgraded one rearing to attack, but otherwise it's pretty good. Literally just one tile off, come on. There we go. There it is! Push out from here is beautiful. Oh, look at that. And there's only one upgraded one to use, 2 mortars, and a regular turret. This spot's just fine. There we go. Now it's starting to come together. I can push this whenever I want, but up here has been a battle to get. Yeah, they have so many anti-airs that it's never worth it to go for anti-airs on this map. Except for reaching the center island. That's the only time because it's kind of mandatory. Oh, that mortar that has caused us so much trouble. It falls. Now we are reaching first major checkpoint of the map. I would like to push to this point, because that cuts off that entire little corner. And from there, look at that. Beautiful. Good job. I actually haven't played Destiny. Do tell. I've never really focused on it. I was a Warframe player. Alrighty, and now that that's falling, I can completely shift over to this side. With this insanely high amount of creep. There we go, that's what I needed. Fireworks? What? Why are there fireworks? I'm not going to question it, because I feel like if I do, I will get answers that don't make me very happy. Okay. About to oversimplify a lot, but basically 3 siblings of an alien race, each named Savathun, Zivu, Arath, and Oryx, come to the solar system, sent their hordes of hungry bugs to perpetuate the ideology of the sword logic. Okay. Bugs. Sounds like EDF. First Defense Force. Sounds like the plot of that game where God just sends a bunch of fucking bugs. I'm worried about whatever that noise was. Because, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not the most knowledgeable. Do continue to tell me more about Destiny, though. Very fun time I'm having hearing about this. The sword logic is the idea that only the strongest may live, and to demonstrate that, you must kill or be killed. They do this to satiate their parasites called the worms. She got a whole bunch of worms in here? Okay. Sure. The music of this game is really nice. Reminds me so much of Puzzle Quest. I love that game. Very silly game. but it has a lot of very iconic quotes to me. Almost as iconic as the ones from The Call. What was that game? I just remember this quote from this beat 'em up that my brothers and I used to play on the PS2, where it's just like, "Red Warrior needs food badly." Silly stuff like that. That would always get a giggle out of me. Okay, so the worms give them magic from following the sword logic, such as the ability to create pocket dimensions called throne worlds for the siblings, and anyone strong enough to make a throne world can survive after death. Okay. How do the worms have this ability? None of those have had, like, fireworks sparkling noises. No, they're fireworks sparkling noises, never mind. I'm just paranoid. Why are they doing a fireworks show? It's the 2nd of April. What could possibly be going on the 2nd of April? Why is there a fireworks show going on? Oh. He had no warning of it. Okay. Don't get why there's a fireworks show right now. It's kind of stressing me. Okay, these worms that they take in their bodies are the larval children of the worm gods. Okay, alright, you're losing me at worm gods. I can't lie. How do... Okay, so, like, we're just kind of accepting that the gods of this world are just big worms, I assume? Schwarming it? These worm gods promise the siblings salvation. That is an important word from the end of their world, called the God Wave. Okay. Don't well technically me. on the worm people. Don't actually with your worm god. Not allowed. Not allowed option. Oh, whoa. Cheap views. That's crazy, man. That's insane. That's crazy. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Anyways. Perish. Very clever way of incorporating the lesson. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so the hive magic causes worms. These worms are very hungry, and if a hive don't kill anything, their worms kill the hive. Okay. Alright, I think I'm following. So, this causes the hive to have to go on massive war campaigns. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. So, let me see if I am getting this straight. Alright? There are these aliens that show up. They try to war us because the worms in their brain tell them they have to war stuff. Otherwise, the worms will kill them. So they're warring for the sake of the worms. Am I incorrect? These campaigns are headed by Oryx, the Taken King. He leads a massive army of hive throughout solar systems and literally kills everything in it. There's so many hive that the hive have been known to hollow out moons. Alright. What do you mean? They just hollowed out a moon. Okay. What the hell even happens in Destiny? Is it fighting against the aliens? Is it fighting against the worms? Is it what are you doing? Okay. Okay, alright. You concern me when we get to a we'll come back to that. That's usually not a good sign. That usually means we're a little lost in the sauce. You concern me when you go, I will go back to that. Okay, alright. Their conquest was chronicled in these books called the Books of Sorrow, in which describes how the Hive work and the three gods, siblings, Oryx, Savas, and Zuvuzwa. Oryx represents curiosity, It's trickery, and then war. Okay. Alright. I don't... Okay. Alright. So we have these three goofballs that are the influences of this universe. I'll call it that. Because that's what they're acting as. They're the influences. We have curiosity, trickery, and war. These siblings gain power whenever anybody does something that embellishes them. Say, killing someone, and does something that killing someone or trick someone, they get a little stronger. It's pretty nebulous how strong they get, so don't get lost in the exact amounts. Okay, that's concerning. This must be how Bunsey feels whenever I describe Limbus and Project Moon to them. Like, oh yeah, this lady, Callie the Red Mist, yeah, she just kind of destroyed an entire... Like, Roland just kind of took out an entire one of those syndicates. Or, like half of a syndicate on his own. Yeah, one of the Five Fingers, yeah, like, biggest group, yeah, he just kind of casually rolled up and was like, where's my wife? Okay, alright, we are getting a good push in the middle here. Okay. Essentially, the Hive bestow power to the siblings by doing these things. That's what the I means. It's basically Ziva Atra, I bestow this kill in the name so that you may be the strongest warmonger in the galaxy. Alright, okay. I could kind of follow along there. Do you think Roland ever shouted that after taking out half the middle? Anyways, I believe that's enough backstory. What happens in Destiny is that one of Oryx's sons, named Crota, comes to Earth's moon and sets up his hive in order to hollow out the moon and use it against the Guardians. That's the protagonist. Okay. Alright. I see. Okay. So I'm gonna try pushing in here now, I guess. Alright, this works. It's not the most efficient method, but it's one way of getting through. I can basically trick it into launching forward my attack for me. Yeah, that works. Oh goodness, I was not keeping up with the Destiny lore. Oh no. Okay. The Vanguard, the Guardian government. Okay, hold on. Let me put this here. Let me do this, and then I'll start reading. Vanguardian government sent a bunch of Guardians to the moon. It goes horribly wrong, because of course it does. Many Guardians are killed on the advance to the moon. It's such a bad campaign. It's called the Great Disaster. Christ. That's a bug I've ever heard of one. Oh my god. Imagine messing up that. Imagine being the poor guy who, like, led that charge. One of those guardians that was sent to the Eris moon, and and the rest of her fire team were the closest to killing Crosha, but one of the members of the fire team, a worm named Toland, betrayed them. Got the entire team except Aerith killed. Alright, okay. I see. Now, I can't lie, that was insanely hard to follow. Alright. Yeah, Okay, a vow to enact vengeance against the Hive and against Crosha. The lead to the first expansion, The Dark Below, is where the protagonist Guardian and we play in is led by Eris is to kill Crosha. We succeed! Crosha is dead, and his dad, Oryx, is not happy. Oh my god. Well, yeah, I would assume they're not very happy by that. Yeah. Yeah, that checks out surprisingly. Call me crazy, but that kind of makes, yeah, okay. Oryx turns his giant boat towards Seoul and takes a massive army of Hive to get revenge. And I assume that's the second expansion? I'm making good progress. I'm about halfway up now. This game's lore is insane. Goodness. What a fun time. Got to learn the equivalent of Bionicle lore. Normally I like to have the creepy Beatrice colored. It makes me happy. But for tonight, I'll make it normal colors to not confuse anyone joining in. Alright. Eventually, his army gets here and the expansion of the Taken King begins, in which our guardians are tasked with trying to kill one of the god siblings. What? What? What is this game? What do you... How do you, a bunch of humans, take on a literal god? Like, I know Warframe has you do some wild stuff, but that's mostly against just other aliens and people who try to act like they're gods. That's actually just fighting a god. Like, one of those is not like the other. Okay. These taken are anything that Oryx has killed, which Oryx can bring back to fight for him. There are some cool things in the giant pot of taken soup, like a supercomputer that tried to kill him. Man, what is this game about? I just want to play Destiny. During the Book of Sorrow, Oryx kills one of the big worms that gave them the larval worm and turns into a boat. Turns into a boat in like the Kingdom Hearts way, or like what do you mean turns into a boat? What? What do you mean he turns it? What? What? Like that's not a metaphor. You just turned a god into a boat. You could have done anything with a god. You pig, Bodicus. You said nah, it's boating time. Aye, the seven seas are for me. How do you kill a god and turn it into a spaceship? What? Like, you understand that all of this sounds like fibs. Like, you could be making all of this up and I would be none the wiser. Okay. Oh, you sent me a picture? Here, let me go take a look, see. Wow, that is a really big guy. Wow, yeah. That's a whole lot of moths to fight. Mm. Lord. Once again, I'd like to pose this question to you. What in the world is happening in this? I was not expecting tonight's stream to be a lecture on, like a full college lecture on, Destiny. Not what I expected from this evening. Not really. Finale's here. We're almost over with this map. Goodness. Alright. Okay. Anyways, next major step in the story, we kill the God Worm. That is the expansion worm, was part of the 3 mission long, and people still argue about how that really should have been a bigger thing than it was. Yeah, killing one of the God Worms sounds like a little bit of a big deal, but you know, what do I know? I don't know nothing about killing big worm. I wouldn't know nothing. Okay. All right. Next after that, so Sabathan gets fucking weird with us. Like, what? Okay. She's got a finger in a lot of parts of Destiny lore. Uh. So for a second, for 3 expansions. So they're the kingdom of blue people in a pocket rift. The queen of the blue people has a pet dragon. The pet dragon can rewrite reality. I, I don't even know where to begin with that. I can't lie. Like, how? Where do I even begin? Where do I start? What do you mean? Wow, this is all starting to fall apart for him. Oh, it's beautiful. They finally ran out of resources. Oh, the sound of it all blowing up. Also, you're insane if you think I'm gonna remember this later, so I'm going to ask you to retell me it later. Gets that dragon to piss off the crown prince of the blue people. The prince kills King Six and causes the vanguard to get involved with the blue people. We hunt down the prince and kill him, but uh-oh, that causes something really bad to happen to the capital of the blue people. Essentially, the dragon gets taken because the dragon thought Sabbath was funny enough. Probably. Okay. What is this game? Ah, yes. My MacGuffin is a dragon that'll rewrite reality if your evil scheme is funny enough. You know, kind of funny enough idea. I'll destroy the world for it. Yeah. Don't worry about nothing. Good. Okay. This dragon then causes the capital to get filled with Taken that causes anyone in the capital to get stuck in a 3-week time loop. Oh. Oh, like, time loops are bad, but, like, why one that's so long? I'd feel hellish. Okay. We threatened their home base now, and they're not focusing on it, so... Okay. This causes the Queen of the Blue People to get really pissed. And so we kill her daughter, Croucher style, but she doesn't care. Why did we do it? Why did we think that was a good plan? Alright, the spores! Launch them! Blow them up! That's a lot of spores! Oh, God. Oh, no. Victory. Alright. Underneath... Wait, hold on. When do we get to a red cat? Okay, from there... When we go to the Hollow Moon to find out that, hey, there's a red castle on the moon. Okay. Underneath the red castle, there's a pyramid ship. Another can of godworms. I forgot how long this was on. God. What? I think I'm gonna call it here for the evening, but like, what in the world? How is there this much? How is there this much? Parada, you can just start DMing it to me. I'm gonna end stream in a second. There's so much. I'm going to wish you all, to the rest of you watching, I hope that you've had a wonderful time watching me struggle. Have a lovely night, and please, keep yourselves happy out there. I don't know what to tell you other than just have a good time. Enjoy your life. Have a good time. Good night all. Thank you for watching.